Hello YouTubers, this is the noobifier and welcome to a topic that many of you have reached out for me to cover. I've spent several days thinking about it. I didn't want to just blast through it because presenting an emotional response isn't normally very objective. But I do have an opinion today, so brace yourself. I love Star Citizen and Squadron 42, including the universe, the lore, and what I believe all of that will become. I appreciate the dedicated team of people that are making the game, so here's the contradiction. My love for the company itself is meh, and my love for CIG has been fading likely since 2016. So, to recap, I love the game, I love the people making it, I dislike the company. I can attribute this to the growing lack of transparency, sketchier sales tactics, not being able to reliably estimate when something might be released, not being very forthcoming with bad news, not being able to reliably estimate the actual issues that are moving forward, not being able to just stop adding more features, resulting in an endless development state with no clear goals. Please don't confuse that statement with despair or content creator burnout. In the past 6 months, we've seen some great additions to the PU, some positive efforts on the flight model, gunnery, but stability isn't good. But they're working on it, I know, that's fine. And it's still PTU, so we'll see. This is to be expected in an alpha and what is also expected with a Chris Roberts timeline. Chris Roberts' time and Chris Roberts' quality historically results in Chris Roberts delays. This isn't all negative, most of us were very aware of this when we backed. I'm not going to cover feature creep today because that would become a feature-length video all by itself. I am, however, going to cover the idea of transparency in an open development game, something that I think we were promised. I'm going to explore what I feel parts of the community are upset over and the often quirky reactions of the Star Citizen community team. I'd like to preface the rest of the video with a positive frame. I don't want Jared or Tyler's job. Their job is a daily Kobayashi Maru test. They have an impossible task of making people happy. They do too much, it backfires. They do too little, it backfires. And if they do anything other than those two options, it backfires because people either want more or less or both. The community team also has a meme-filled history of super gaslighting what always seems to us to be a simple or minor situation. Their extinguisher of choice seems to be oxygen-enriched gasoline directly injected into the core of the fire in an attempt to put it out. We're all fully aware of the current situation, so let's start with some suggestions. This is the part of the video where I would love you to comment your comments in the comments. The promised Squadron 42 video is a no-win thing that nobody asked for. If you launch a weak performance, the world will meme the $300 million company for its low-quality video. If you launch an epic performance, the world will meme the $300 million company for wasting time on a video instead of making the game. So that was more of an observation than a suggestion. Jared, calling all devs is good and you should bring it back on a regular schedule. We agreed that it was often more important than the roadmap or inside Star Citizen. It's interactive, allowing the community to post questions. The community can upvote, and there were only 2 points of feedback to improve calling all devs. First, answer the top voted questions from the community because skipping them looks like you don't want to be open and transparent. If you decide to skip over a top voted question, at least acknowledge why. Skipping could be because there's no answer. This can also be because you want to hold the question for the future so that the proper developer is available to answer the question. This can also be because it would lead to a spoiler. This could be because it was recently covered or will be covered in an upcoming ISC or SC Live. Regardless of the reason, acknowledge the question and explain why it's being skipped. Second, Benoit. Spectrum was launched in 2016. It's time to add a downvote option in Spectrum. We're adults and it can be beta tested first in the Calling All Devs thread, but it is needed. Next, Pillar Talk is really good when it's hosted by the team of heads about the upcoming patch. Do one about 2 weeks after live launch about the next patch. Be detailed in your accomplishments, your goals, your blockers, and what you're currently doing to overcome them. Please don't worry about being specific and technical, we can take it. For the next part, we understand that the team leads and developers' times are precious, and distractions lead to delays and loss of momentum. But Chris should do a 10 for the chair at least every quarter. He's the CEO of the company, he's the reason we're all here, he's the reason we have backed over $300 million. Of all people in the company who are working on the game, he is the most important person to our community. Feel free to hold Calling All Dev questions from Spectrum that relate to him and his vision for our future. To underscore his importance, remember past milestones and traditions. If the 100 and 200 million mark were celebrated by a letter from the chairman, we should celebrate 300 the same way. Tradition is stability, and stability is needed. So, I think it's obvious that we want the game to be successful, and it's obvious that we're all here to see the development unfold. Please like or dislike the video as you see fit, but it's actually more important that you comment in the comments and share the ideas here if you got something out of the video. Thank you very much for spending your time with me. Fly safe, and I'll see you in the verse.